Have you ever wondered why some runners glide effortlessly through their miles while you're gasping for air at the same pace? What if I told you that your racing heart isn't a sign of weakness, but rather a signal you haven't learned to decode yet? There's a counterintuitive secret that elite runners know, something that could transform your running forever, and most recreational runners completely ignore it. You're pushing harder, breathing heavier, and your heart is pounding like a drum. Yet, somehow you're not getting faster. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. Running with a lower heart rate at the same speed isn't just possible. It's the key to unlocking your true potential. The science behind this will surprise you. The methods are simpler than you think, and the last strategy I'm going to share today might actually blow your mind. If you're ready to run smarter instead of just harder, then you're in exactly the right place. Before we dive deep into this game-changing information, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now because we're about to revolutionize the way you think about running. Welcome to a journey that's going to challenge everything you thought you knew about cardiovascular training. Today we're exploring one of the most misunderstood aspects of running performance: the relationship between heart rate, effort, and speed. Prepare to discover why training slower can actually make you faster, how your body's energy systems work in ways you never imagined, and the exact protocols that Olympic coaches use to build unbreakable endurance. This isn't just theory. This is practical, applicable knowledge that you can implement on your very next run. I want to know something about you right now. Where in the world are you watching this from? Drop your city or country in the comments below because I love seeing our global running community come together. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now because we're building something special here. A tribe of runners who value intelligence over ego, strategy over struggle. Let's start with the foundation, and this is where most runners get it completely wrong. Your heart rate during running is essentially a window into your body's metabolic state. When your heart is beating at 170, 180, or even higher beats per minute during an easy run, your body is telling you something critical. You're relying too heavily on your glycolytic energy system, the one that burns through carbohydrates fast and produces lactate as a byproduct. This is your body's emergency response system, designed for short bursts of intense effort, not for sustained aerobic activity. The problem is that most runners spend the majority of their training time in this zone, thinking they're building endurance when they're actually just teaching their body to be inefficient. Here's what happens at a cellular level. When you run too hard too often, your mitochondria, those tiny powerhouses in your cells that produce energy aerobically, never get the proper stimulus to multiply and become more efficient. Instead, you're constantly flooding your system with stress hormones, creating inflammation, and accumulating fatigue without building the aerobic base that actually makes you faster over time. The solution starts with something that feels completely wrong to most runners. You need to slow down significantly to eventually speed up dramatically. The first major strategy for reducing your heart rate while maintaining or even improving your pace is Zone 2 training, and this is backed by decades of exercise physiology research. Zone 2 refers to the intensity where you're working aerobically, able to hold a conversation in short sentences, and your heart rate is roughly between 60 and 70% of your maximum. For most people, this feels uncomfortably easy at first, almost embarrassingly slow. But here's the magic. When you train consistently in this zone, you trigger a cascade of physiological adaptations that transform you into a more efficient running machine. Your mitochondrial density increases, meaning you have more cellular factories producing energy. Your capillary network expands, delivering oxygen more efficiently to working muscles. Your body becomes better at utilizing fat as fuel, sparing precious glycogen for when you really need it. Professional marathon runners spend approximately 80% of their training volume in this zone, and it's not because they're lazy or don't want to work hard. It's because they understand that aerobic development is the foundation upon which all speed is built. When you can run at a lower heart rate for the same pace, it means your cardiovascular system has become more efficient. Your stroke volume has increased, meaning your heart pumps more blood with each beat, and your muscles extract oxygen more effectively from that blood. This is true fitness, not the huffing and puffing that most people mistake for productive training. Now think about this for a moment. How many of your runs are actually easy? If you're honest with yourself, You probably push the pace on most days, thinking that discomfort equals improvement. Comment below right now and tell me, do you run most of your miles easy, moderate, or hard? Be honest, because this self-awareness is the first step to transformation. I want to see your responses, because understanding where you are right now will help both of us understand how much potential you're leaving on the table. The second critical element for lowering your heart rate while maintaining speed is improving your running economy, which is essentially how efficiently your body uses oxygen at a given pace. Think of it like fuel efficiency in a car. Two vehicles might travel at the same speed, but one guzzles gas while the other sips it sparingly. Running economy is influenced by several factors, and the good news is that almost all of them are trainable. First is your biomechanics, the actual way your body moves through space. Excess vertical oscillation, meaning bouncing too much with each stride, wastes energy and drives your heart rate up unnecessarily. Overstriding, where your foot lands too far in front of your center of mass, creates a braking force with every step, making your heart work harder to maintain the same speed. The solution isn't to completely overhaul your natural gait, but rather to focus on a few key principles. Increase your cadence to around 170 to 180 steps per minute, which naturally reduces overstriding and ground contact time. Focus on landing with your foot closer to your body's center of mass, which improves force application and reduces wasted energy. Maintain a slight forward lean from the ankles, not the waist, which helps you harness gravity rather than fight against it. When you improve these mechanical aspects, something remarkable happens. You can maintain the same pace with less muscular effort, which means less oxygen demand, which means a lower heart rate. It's that simple and that profound. Another dimension of running economy involves your muscular and neuromuscular efficiency. This is where strength training and plyometric work become game changers for runners. When your muscles are stronger, they don't have to recruit as many muscle fibers to produce the same force, which reduces the metabolic cost of running. When your tendons and connective tissues are more elastic and responsive, they act like springs that return energy with each step, meaning your muscles do less work for the same output. Incorporate exercises like single-leg squats, calf raises, box jumps, and bounding into your weekly routine. You don't need hours in the gym, just 2 focused 30-minute sessions per week can produce measurable improvements in running economy within 6 to 8 weeks. The neuromuscular aspect is equally important. Your brain and muscles need to communicate efficiently. This is why strides, those short 20 to 30-second accelerations to near maximum speed, are so valuable. They teach your nervous system to recruit muscle fibers more effectively and coordinate movement patterns at higher speeds, which carries over to making your easier paces feel more effortless. When you nail your running economy, you're literally teaching your body to do more with less, and the result is a heart rate that stays lower even as your pace increases. Let me ask you something that might change your perspective entirely. What if the problem isn't your fitness level at all, but rather your body's relationship with stress? Comment now and tell me, do you struggle with high heart rates during easy runs? I want to understand how common this issue is in our community, so drop your experience below. The third major strategy is something that often gets overlooked: managing your overall stress load and optimizing recovery. Your heart rate during running isn't just influenced by your cardiovascular fitness and running economy, it's also dramatically affected by your autonomic nervous system balance. When you're chronically stressed, whether from work, relationships, inadequate sleep, or overtraining, your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, becomes dominant. This elevates your resting heart rate and causes your heart rate during exercise to spike higher than it should for any given effort level. You've probably experienced this. A pace that felt comfortable last week suddenly has your heart racing today, and you're wondering what went wrong. Often, nothing went wrong with your fitness. You're just carrying too much accumulated stress. The solution requires a holistic approach. Sleep is non-negotiable. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night, because this is when your body repairs tissues, balances hormones, and consolidates the adaptations from training. Manage your training load intelligently by following the principle of progressive overload with adequate recovery. This means not increasing your weekly mileage by more than 10%, taking at least 1 complete rest day per week, and incorporating easy recovery weeks every third or fourth week where you reduce volume by 20 to 30%. Practice stress management techniques like meditation, deep breathing exercises, or yoga, because these directly influence your autonomic nervous system and can lower your baseline heart rate significantly. Nutrition also plays a crucial role in heart rate management. Chronic dehydration, even mild dehydration, forces your heart to work harder to pump thicker blood through your system, elevating your heart rate by 5 to 10 beats per minute. Inadequate electrolyte balance, particularly sodium and potassium, affects cardiac function and can cause inappropriate heart rate elevations. Make sure you're consistently hydrated throughout the day, not just during runs. And consider your electrolyte intake, especially if you're a salty sweater or training in hot conditions. Your fueling strategy matters too. Running in a chronically underfueled state might seem like a good strategy for fat adaptation, but if taken too far, it creates metabolic stress that drives up cortisol and keeps your heart rate elevated. Find the balance between teaching your body to use fat efficiently and providing adequate energy for your training demands. When you optimize recovery and stress management, you're giving your body the foundation it needs to adapt to training, and one of the most visible markers of this adaptation is a lower heart rate at the same running speeds. The beautiful thing about all three of these strategies is that they work synergistically. When you build your aerobic base through Zone 2 training, improve your running economy through better mechanics and strength work, and optimize your recovery and stress management, the results compound exponentially. Runners who implement all three approaches consistently report being able to run 30 to 60 seconds per mile faster at the same heart rate within just 3 to 4 months. Imagine running your typical easy pace of 9-minute miles at a heart rate of 150 instead of 165. That's 15 fewer beats per minute, which over the course of an hour-long run means your heart beats 900 fewer times for the same workout. That's not just more comfortable, it's a sign of profound physiological improvement. Here's something that might surprise you. The runners who improve the most aren't the ones who push hardest. They're the ones who have the patience and discipline to train appropriately for each session's specific purpose. The hard days should be genuinely hard, targeting specific physiological systems like lactate threshold or VO2 max, and the easy days should be truly easy, building aerobic capacity without accumulating excessive fatigue. Most runners make the mistake of running their easy days too hard, and their hard days not hard enough, leaving them stuck in a mediocre middle ground where they're always moderately tired, but never optimally adapted. Break this pattern. Use a heart rate monitor or perceived exertion to ensure your easy runs stay easy, even if that means running slower than you think you should. Trust the process because the science is unambiguous. This approach works. Your ego might take a temporary hit when you slow down, but your race times will thank you later. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to reflect on something important. Running isn't just about physical capability, it's about the wisdom to train intelligently, the patience to let adaptations occur naturally, and the courage to trust in processes that might feel counterintuitive at first. Lowering your heart rate while maintaining or improving your pace isn't a trick or a shortcut. It's the natural result of training your body the way it's designed to be trained. You now have the knowledge. Build your aerobic base through Zone 2 training. Improve your running economy through better mechanics and strength work. And optimize your recovery by managing stress and prioritizing sleep. The question is, will you implement it? Will you have the discipline to slow down on your easy days even when your ego wants to push? Will you commit to the strength work even when it feels like it's taking time away from running? Will you prioritize sleep and recovery even when life gets busy? These choices will determine whether you're still struggling with the same issues a year from now, or whether you've transformed into the efficient, powerful runner you're capable of becoming. Remember, every elite runner you admire got there not by working harder than everyone else, but by working smarter. You have the same opportunity. If you found this information valuable, and I hope you did, because we've covered some truly transformative concepts today, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, leave a comment below telling me which strategy you're going to implement first. Is it the Zone 2 training, the running economy work, or the recovery optimization? Second, smash that like button because it helps this video reach more runners who need this information. And third, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our content. We're just getting started on this journey together. I've got an incredible video coming up next that dives even deeper into heart rate variability and how you can use it to optimize your training on a day-by-day basis. You're going to want to see that, so click on the video appearing on your screen right now and let's continue this journey together. Keep running smart, keep chasing your goals, and remember that the greatest athletes aren't born. They're built through intelligent, consistent training. I'll see you in the next one.